Hi, I'm Barry Wright, host of Right to the Point on TVCOGECO. Over the past several months, it's been my pleasure to talk to a variety of guests on a variety of topics here in Sarnia-Lambton. Now it's your chance to be reintroduced to some of these stories on TVCOGECO.com.
I think we should just scrap the property tax system. It was originally formed to provide very basic services 100, 150 years ago. You know, maybe police, fire, water, and sewer. Since then, it's expanded, and we're the only place in Canada, Ontario is the only place in Canada that pays for social services on property taxes. And the province has got this long-term plan that'll take, till we're all dead and gone to take some of those services back. The assessment system, by its nature, is unfair. It taxes people on a capital gain they do not have in most cases, because there's only about 10% of the market out there in real estate anyhow. I was successful a couple of years ago working very closely with the Ombudsman. We got them to review impact, and we're monitoring how they're responding to these assessments. I asked the Premier 2 months ago, as a leader on this issue, to freeze the assessments. Just leave them as they are, as you did for 2 years before, Mr. Premier. They've chosen not to do that. British Columbia has chosen to freeze the assessments, saying that we don't need, in this time of economic uncertainty, to have a segment in each community put in this position. And I should make a couple of points really clear. One is the municipalities receive no new funds or additional funds from the real estate assessment. We don't take them. In Sarnia, we give up $3 or $4 million. We lower the tax rate to offset the average increase. Unfortunately, that doesn't help the people outside the average.
Do that, though, right?
No, not all municipalities. Places like London, they take the money and run. In our case, we would have had a zero budget increase if we just took that $4 million. We decided as a council on principle a number of years ago we're not going to do that. So one, the property tax system is the real problem, that needs to be radically reformed and changed. And it really should be based on income, not on the value of your house. So we have lots of people in our respective communities. The longer you live in a place and the older you get, the worse off you are, because as your income freezes, the value of your property goes up and your income goes down. And we've got all sorts of terrible examples of that. So one, I would scrap the property tax system and start from new and look at revenue sharing with the federal and provincial governments like they do in other places. If they're going to keep the assessment system, Sarnia Council's official position is put a 5% cap on assessment increases. The other solution, if they're going to keep the present system, is not to pay for any assessment increase till the home is sold. That's in place in a number of American states. There are other solutions. This government is determined not to deal with the problem, and their standard response is, and McGuinty a couple of weeks ago infuriated me with this, I thought was a disingenuous response. Well, the local councils, when he was hearing about $100,000, $200,000 increases in assessment, they can just lower their costs and their services. Well, no, if we lower it any further, then we're going to have to cut services to the 60% that aren't impacted. And that's not fair. That's not how you build a community. So when it's all said and done, we need radical reform on both the assessment system and the property tax system. I think the tax system needs to be dealt with. It's a bigger issue in the long term because we can't keep on patching this tire because at some point it's going to explode. And again, property taxes in Ontario are the highest in the country because we pay for social services, which we shouldn't. They're valuable services. They should come from progressive taxation, from sales taxes, just like they do everywhere else in this country.